Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Overtime here on ESPN 99.1. And certainly when this man comes on the show, which is only his second time, although we've said his name 1 million times, I think, at this point, Stugotz of ESPN Radio, ESPN, and the Dan LeBatard Show joins us now on the Mazda Hyundai hotline from Billion Automotives. Welcome in, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. That's a mouthful. The Mazda Hyundai.
Yeah, dude, the thing is, I butchered it, too. I pulled the Stugotz, man, because it's the ESPN 99.1 Billion Hyundai hotline or the ESPN 99.1 Billion Mazda hotline. I just went with Hyundai Mazda, combined them, and gave them both love.
Well, I'm proud of you. That's a good job out of you. You know what makes it difficult is it's the Hyundai followed by the hotline. It's that double H thing, man. I always struggle with that. And by the way, so listen, like I know it's only my second time on. I've told you anytime you want, but I will safely say this. Even though we haven't made Stugotz Day happen, and we'll get to that in a second, I can safely say on our show there has been no affiliate that has been mentioned more than you guys. And so that's a good job out of you and a good job out of your station because, I think we mention your station pretty much on a weekly basis. We don't do that with anyone.
No, I know, man. And actually, let's start there. We'll get to all this other sports crap in a second because I'm not sure if you've heard, but we now have a new mayor, which you have now infiltrated a mayoral election. You've allowed me to expense a trip to Miami to come talk to you. You helped us, as you just mentioned, get hundreds of mentions, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in free advertising for the city of Sioux Falls. And you probably have cost me about 100 hours of my life trying to put together this Stugotz Day. I'm wondering, did you come on today to say you're giving up your hopes of a private jet and you're willing to fly the grungy mess that is first class to Sioux Falls, South Dakota?
I did not do that. I have achieved, first off, I am glad. I have helped you tremendously. The Stugotz is strong in you. I'm proud of you, okay?
Yeah.
My work is almost done with you. No, I am not coming on to say I will definitively do the day. I want to do the day.
Okay.
I want to do it during warm weather months. I'm going to stick to my guns here on the private jet. Like I got to make that. I don't like traveling. If I'm going to travel, like the least preferred mode of transportation is flying. Okay. And so if we're going to get this done, I got to get private, which we're working on. And if that doesn't come through, then I'm going to have to lean on you for some sort of first class. Or something,
all right.
Okay?
All right. Well, you keep working on that.
I should lean on you. Why am I leaning on you? I got the mayor elected. Tell him to pull some strings. Let's go.
Paul Tenhaken is now the mayor of Sioux Falls, and I think that when you get 5-6 times the amount of retweets you get for anything else during your campaign, I think we have to give you full credit for him getting elected. That was a last-minute push. He was on a Friday. He got elected on a Tuesday.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay, so what happened? So he sent the tweet out. He wanted 1,000 retweets. Was that the deal?
Yeah, he said then it was Stugotz Day was going to happen, but he didn't want to just give you Stugotz Day because he wanted to make you work for it for once in your life.
Okay, well that's fine. But did I get the 1,000 retweets?
I don't know. I think we came a little short, man. But he said, anyways, screw it. He shot me a text. He said, let's do it anyways.
So here's a couple of things on that. I love that you live in an area, in a place, in a city, and it's probably one of the reasons I'm afraid to go to your city, where you could just text the mayor. With the mayor, like you're friends with the mayor,
right?
Like the mayor of Miami never. Well, I guess the mayor of Miami is LeBatard, but the real mayor of Miami, he never texts me, or she never texts me. I never get texts from mayors. I love that you're getting texts from that. And then secondly, so had you told me that the new mayor needed 1,000 retweets, I would have made sure he had 10,000. But I wasn't aware of that. So it's a good job by the Army just doing that on their own, getting us close to 1,000. Listen, he's got to have a private jet, right? The mayor, like I'm thinking he's got a private jet.
Man, he started.
We need to tell this mayor. We need to tell this mayor as quickly and as easily as I got him elected. I can get him unelected just as easily. I don't know if that's possible or not, but it sounds good.
Yeah, he doesn't actually take office till the middle of May, man. So there's still a chance you could pull that off.
Oh, well, middle of May, I got plenty of time. Are you kidding me? Like, he's got to have a private jet.
Yes.
Now you're friends with him. You text him all the time.
I'll text him and see if he does. I'll find out. I do have another question, though, because when you were referencing Stugotz Day recently, you said that like 50% of the state or 30% of the state or the city is made up of elk. We were looking to try to find where you found that statistic. Where did you find the elk statistic?
I think I don't know. We were doing something. I Googled something about your city, and then we saw elk, and then like I tend to do, I kind of fabricated that number.
Because I tell you, we spent an hour on Google trying to figure out where you found that stat. I put my producer on that job, and he fell short because we couldn't find it. We just assumed you knew more than us about our city.
Oh, you sent your poor producer down that rabbit hole?
Yeah.
chasing misinformation from me? What's the matter with you?
Hey, man, I like
what
that.
What are you doing to that poor guy?
Yeah, we like to make sure he's working for that minimum wage.
So I don't know. I don't know where. Somehow, I think Guillermo may have put it in my ear. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how we got to the elf. I just remember I was having a lot of fun saying, the foursome's going to be me and 3 elves, and then it got to Steve Elkington, and then I don't know.
Eldrick Woods.
That's our show, man. I don't remember. Listen, I don't remember what we talked about today. So you're asking me to go way back, like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember that, man.
We'll circle back and see if we can get this signed on a dotted line sooner than later for Stugotz Day. But I do want to move on. I got some questions.
I do want to tell you something because I want to say this to the city. Okay, you guys have been great to me. You've been great to me. The station's been great. I love that somehow I'm in the middle of some sort of mayoral election. I think to me that it's like dream come true type stuff. Okay, I want this day to happen. I am grateful. I am appreciative. I really am. I want the day to happen. I want there to be a Stugotz Day. I want all of us to enjoy it. I want the city to enjoy it. I want to enjoy it. And I want to do the Poppy thing as well, where I think it's Poppy Week or Poppy, whatever it is, okay? You have, like, our show and me and Poppy, we're committed to it in the summer months, okay? We're committed to this thing, but that's all I'm saying. I need you guys to use a little pull, whatever pull you have with this mayor, to try to get us a private jet, okay? We're working on it on our end, but I'm asking. We want the day to happen. It's going to be a great day. We're all going to have fun. I'm committing to coming out there. We got to figure out the transportation. That's it. Okay?
Fair enough. I don't have many wild cards I can use, but I have no problem using that wild card on you. So I will certainly do my best, and we will update.
Well, how does the mayor get around?
I think he uses a car. I'm guessing he doesn't teleport or use a helicopter from the west side of Sioux Falls to downtown. It's just not that big.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, man. Like, I don't know. Listen, what's the point of being the mayor? Like,
right.
If you can't get yourself a helicopter and a private jet, I don't see any point.
Yeah, if you're not spending taxpayers' dollars, you're not really truly a politician. Let's be honest with each other here. Let's be honest. All right, man. So here, I got a bunch of sports stuff to get to. I've already wasted a lot of your time already. But I want to start with the Matt Harvey stuff because I know you call Matt Harvey a fake ace, and I agree with you. But who's more the Matt Harvey of the NBA? Is it Dwight Howard, Paul George, or DeMar DeRozan?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Man, that is a really, really good question. I'm not going to say it's DeRozan. I know everyone, it's easy to get on DeRozan, right? He's a punching bag today. And they're kind of a punching bag as well. And I guess at some levels they deserve it, right? Like you geared up your whole team, you changed your whole team, your philosophy, everything. Even DeRozan as an individual player, went from a guy who never took threes to a guy that at least started. It was a threat at least this year, him hitting a three. I'm not going to go DeRozan. You look back at game one, he played really well. That was a game they should have won. I still think DeMar DeRozan is a very good player. So, we're comparing to Matt Harvey here. So I'm going to go. Paul George has been deep in the playoffs. Dwight Howard's been to an NBA final. I'm going to go Paul George here. Dwight Howard's a bit past his prime, still playing at a pretty decent level. The game just kind of passed him by. It's passed that position by. And so I'm not going to go Dwight Howard, who's made an NBA final, was at one time, I think, maybe the best player in the NBA or top 2 or 3 player in the NBA when he was with Orlando. So I'm going to go Paul George here because here's the funny thing about Paul George, right, is you have a guy who actually did a Gatorade commercial in which they depicted, they pulled the game in which he hits the final shot with no time left on the clock. And yet he's never, ever done that in the postseason. Ever. He's never done it in the postseason. So while I should be proud of Paul George because the Stugotz are strong in him, I'm going to say it's Paul George. Like you go from Indiana to Oklahoma City with Westbrook, with Carmelo. You can't get out of the first round. And meanwhile, your team, that you left in Indiana, Oladipo has a better year than you ever had there, and he, gets, LeBron to a 7th game. Paul George is the fake ace of the NBA.
Stugotz with us here from ESPN Radio, ESPN, the Dan LeBatard Show. All right, so I know you like baseball, and I know you know the history of the game, and you know how hard it can be to penetrate the fabric of baseball. Historically, standoffish to new ideas. But we came up with a new idea for baseball about a year ago, and we've been telling all these baseball guys we get on that they need to start using this vernacular when they are in the clubhouse and when they're doing interviews, and we'd like you to help us out with broadening that as well. And here it is. Every baseball guy we've talked to likes it, so that's boding well for us. But if you hit a home run under 400 feet, people refer to home runs as dingers. We want to refer to specifically home runs under 400 feet as dingers. every home run over 400 feet, long home runs, we want to refer to them as dongers, okay? So dingers if they're under 400 feet, dongers if they're over 400 feet. Is that something that you would approve and be on board with?
I would 100. First off, I love the idea. A donger is funny. Over 400 feet, donger. Under 400 is a dinger.
Yeah, dingers and dongers.
I am good with that. Is there now? Can we expand this out? I'm fine with it. I think it's great. I love it. I love the way you're thinking. Can we expand this out? Like, so if it's a donger, can we tack on an additional run to a donger? You know, like. So let's say it's a 3-run dinger. You only get 3 runs.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But if it's a 3-run donger, can it count as 4 runs?
Sure, and I have no problem with that. We can also count every single home run that Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge hit is a donger just because of the pure stature of those men as they hit home runs.
Okay, yeah, but everyone's got to play by the same rules under this scenario,
Do
right?
the Yankees ever play by the same rules, Stugotz?
That's a good point. I mean, listen. They planted maybe the franchise's most celebrated player right down here in Miami to own the Marlins. They planted him down here so he could trade guys like Giancarlo Stanton. It's like they have a farm system down here in Miami. It's amazing. Oh, you want the NL MVP? Here, take it for nothing. So yes, you're right. They're not playing by the same rules. Okay, so I'm with you guys on this. In fact, I wish Guillermo was on the phone because he'd be all over this.
Yeah, make sure and mention it to Guillermo. Think if under 400 feet they're dingers, over 400 feet they're dongers.
Okay, but so you're just trying to change the vernacular, which is fine. I want to change the rules.
I'm with you. I'm cool. Yeah, let's do that too. Let's add a
run.
I'm
with you on the vernacular. As long as the donger counts. You have to get something if you hit a donger, right? It's special.
Right, it's special.
You're making a distinction there. So an extra run on the donger, I'm good.
I'm with you as well. Stugotz with us from ESPN Radio. If you were locked in a room for 5 minutes with Art Briles, can you give us like what the play-by-play would be? What would happen in that 5 minutes?
Oh my God. Geez, I don't know.
Are you getting physical or are you just getting verbal?
I don't know. Well, first off, I mean his room's in hell, so I mean I got to go down there. He's got home court advantage there. He's got Satan by his side. So I don't know. That's, can I get him out of his? Who would you bring with?
Who would you bring? Who would you bring with you if Satan and Art Briles were in the same room? Like, who would you bring with you to combat Satan?
LeBron James. Bring LeBron James.
I would agree.
That's who I bring.
I might as well. But he does bleed. We know he does bleed lately, so there is a chance that he won't be able to take down Satan.
See, but I don't look at it as LeBron. He bleeds. Like I just like what's great. Like that doesn't make him human to me. It's just that that particular style of robot just has the same color blood as we do, as us humans do. So I guess what would happen with me in a room at Art Briles, man? I don't listen physically. I think I could take him, right?
Sure.
I do have to worry about that Satan guy. Listen, there'd be a lot of yelling and screaming. Like, what if you really? Here's the funny thing about me and the Art Briles stuff. And Dan knows this. There are very few stories like the Joe Paterno, Jerry Sandusky trial. Like, I don't. The guys will get on me a lot for being unprepared, but when there's a story I'm really kind of into, I prepare myself. Like, I'm not just going to go after these guys without having, in a way that I've gone after Paterno and Sandusky and Art Briles without having the facts behind me. If people really want to learn just what type of human being Art Briles is, just go read all these stories and all the things that happened at Baylor under his watch. And then once they caught him, once they busted him, just the reaction by him and so many other people and trying to cover stuff up. Like, go read all that stuff, and then you'll understand why I always make the Art Briles and hell joke. I don't know. I imagine so many bad things happened under his watch. I imagine it would get physical, and yeah, I would at least attempt to try to do something physically harmful to him for 5 minutes if I could.
Have you ever been confronted by a person, an athlete, a coach, for something that you said on the air in person?
Not in person. No, we've talked about it on the air. Like one of the guys. I'm trying to think in person. No, listen, I know I agitate people, especially athletes, other media members, especially if you don't get our show or listen to our show and know that I'm not really actually trying to upset you. I'm just playing a character here. It's a spoof of a sports radio show. Like, I'm mocking the person I wanted to be. And so no one has confronted me to my face. I think Dan and I have talked about this. Well, I know we have. We talked about it on the air. Shaquille O'Neal gets a little bit sensitive about stuff that I say about him on the air, especially the Tim Duncan. I think he said that Tim Duncan's not he's a better center than Tim Duncan. He doesn't count Tim Duncan as a center. He's a power forward. Like, I just got, like, and I always say to Shaq, by his own admission, he kind of underachieved. Like, if you told me at the beginning of his career in Orlando, rookie year, how many championships is that guy, that physical specimen, going to win? I would have told you like 10, and he ended up winning 4. Dwayne Wade carried him to 1. I'm not going to say Kobe carried him to 3. He was a Finals MVP in those 3. So, Shaquille O'Neal's a guy who has gotten mad at me, but not to my face. It's always been like direct message stuff. So he's taking issue with some of the stuff that I've had to say.
You ever gotten to it with people in an interview though, like on the air? Any that come to mind? I got into it with Jerry Kill, former Gophers coach at a press conference. I got into it with NCAA President Mark Emmerick once down in Nashville, and then Jimmy Butler and I had a squabble on Twitter. Those are the only 3 that I've come across. But I'm younger than you, man, so I've started a good path for myself. Yeah,
no, that's pretty good work right there. I'm impressed. We've never had Emmert on the show. He'll never come on our show.
Oh, dude, I got into it at a press conference with him one time. They almost made me leave, man. And then Jerry Kill actually wanted me to come teach the wide receivers routes because I apparently didn't believe that he was teaching them that at practice.
Oh, that's hysterical. And by the way, you don't want to pick a fight with a guy named Jerry Kill. Like, that's not a good idea. Right?
Fair enough.
Just on name alone, is there a guy you would at least want to pick a fight with? Jerry Kill. God, I'm trying to think if there's
even like in the local show.
Yeah. Well, listen, no, we got into it with MC. You're gonna laugh at me. MC Hammer is someone I got into a legitimate fight with on air because he was being rude to Dan, and so I just felt the need to kind of protect Dan and the show. MC Hammer, wow, what a funny one that is. Yeah. MC Hammer, we got into it with Rob Manfred a bit.
That was a good one though, man. Like that, when you get the corporate suits like upset, I'm sure too. Like that is when you're really pushing the right button.
Yeah, it was interesting, but and so it's what I was saying earlier, like with the Brile stuff and the Sandusky and that stuff's like, put the character aside for a second. That stuff's serious. Where if I'm going to come at you, I'm going to do my research first. And so with Dan was armed with the facts, and that's what made that. Dan's a journalist, man. I'm the furthest thing from it. He is a journalist who, Dan's not going to go after someone like that unless he, feels comfortable and knows he's got the facts behind him. So I would say those are the 2. I think, if we were to ask Mike on the fly, hey, play back 2 beefs that we've had with guests on the show, I think he'd immediately, without discussing it with us, he'd go right to Rob Manfred and MC Hammer.
All right, we'll end with this. Put you on the record. Who you got, Rockets or Warriors?
Oh, I got the Warriors. I think the Warriors are going to win it and win it fairly easily. Like, I'd be surprised if that thing goes 6 games. To me, it's this simple in the NBA. It's okay. They got 2 superstars and the Warriors got 4. And so, they're going to come at James Harden with, like, look at it this way. Like, the rotation of defenders on Harden is going to be Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, right? Like, and the third guy I said is Defensive Player of the Year at one point in the NBA. So that's the third guy I mentioned. They come at Harden with size. They come at him with length. They come at him with great defenders. They have 3 guys that can throw at him. And then, all right, so you have those 3 versus that 1, and then it's Steph Curry and Chris Paul. Like, yeah, I'm going to take my chances with Steph. So I think the Warriors are going to win it. I think the Warriors are going to win this thing in 4 or 5 games. I think it's going to be pretty easy.
The man, the myth, the legend, Stugotz of ESPN Radio, ESPN, and the Dan LeBatard Show. Appreciate it, man. We will lean on the mayor. We'll do our best, and we'll circle back with you. And we truly, man, as you said some nice words about us, we truly appreciate all the love you've given us. Way more love than we probably deserve on national radio. But thanks for the time, Stugotz. Always appreciate it. We'll circle back sooner than later, man.
No, you got it, man. And we'll make this day happen and anytime on the show. And listen, this should be a lesson to all the other affiliates out there. If just try to come up with a day, centered all around me and Poppy, and then you'll get all the buzz you want on our show. Like, that's it. Heady play by you guys. I'm proud of you.
Hey, the Stugotz is strong in us, that's for sure. Thanks for the time, dude.
Okay, dude. Talk to you soon.